Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is to wherever you're at. 91 Cav GT again, coming at you with another cargo trailer update. Got a lot more progress done, and this cold weather is not always nice to me as far as my body goes, but it gives me an opportunity to get inside here where it's now insulated. I can turn the heater on and I can work, listen to the radio, and it's good therapy for me. It keeps me active, but at the same time it allows me to make some progress on something, so it feels good. So electrical is pretty much done. The only thing that's left on the electrical is to drill a hole on the outside for the power cord and mount the surge strip on the inside. And that's it. That's really it. Beyond that, electrical is done. Now in the last video I told you the Dewalt power inverter, it went belly up, so we had to change it. So let's flip around and take a look at what's new. There is the new surface, and that's the new power inverter. It's a 2000 watt continuous, 4000 watt surge, pure sine wave inverter. Pure sine wave. I've used it quite a bit, and just get finished doing some testing with it. So this is what we've got going on right now. Got the little hole there, and we open it up, and there is the fuse box, and there's the one for the solar panel. Got a little metal piece right there, and got a magnet here, so that helps to hold it closed. Now, I don't know if we're going to be able to really look inside very good. I might have to see if I can shine a flashlight in there so you can see. But I got something else done too. Now if you look, there it is. Right there. Those are 4 resistors that I wired up. That is for, there it is. That's for the heater in the battery. And there is the switch for it. There it is. Now you can see the switch. That's the switch for it. And those are mounted right below the fan. Those are also hollow. So basically what happened was, once again, with the 12 volt heating pads, I bought 2 of them. They're supposed to be 12 watts each. Did some testing beforehand, and come to find out they were over 60 watts each. They were actually pulling over 5 amps of current, and would get hot enough that within just a few seconds it would almost burn my hand. So I needed a way to tame that down. So from a previous project, I had some 12 volt or some resistors laying around. Those are ceramic resistors, and they are 10 ohms each. So I was trying to get the amperage a little closer to what a 12 watt load would be, which would be closer to 1 amp. I'm perfectly fine with 1 amp. Let's see if I can set the phone up here. Maybe. Okay. The heating pads, I didn't want them to get super hot super fast, and if they put out just a little bit of heat, that's perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. It doesn't have to be super hot super fast. So I wired one of those resistors up in series, and with the resistance of the heating pad, it gave me a little bit over 12 ohms of resistance. And I hooked it up and it pulled just a little over 1 amp, but the resistor got a little too hot for my comfort. So since I had 4 of those resistors, I wired 2 up in parallel, these 2 up in parallel, and then I wired these up in series with each other. And what that does is when you do parallel, parallel, and then series, you end up with the same load. So we still ended up with 10 ohms of resistance from those 4 resistors. But now the load is split amongst all 4. So the heat is split amongst all 4. Not only that, but these resistors are hollow on the inside. It's just a round tube. It's like a miniature piece of PVC, but it's ceramic and it's a resistor. So I mounted those up underneath the fan. So when that is on and I've got the fan running, it keeps those resistors nice and cool. So that was the whole point of having the fan, is to keep all the heat out of there. And it works. It does not heat the battery up quickly, which I am perfectly fine with that. It takes, after about an hour of using it, the battery temperature raises by about 3 or 4 degrees Fahrenheit, which is perfectly fine with me. I am perfectly fine with that. I probably won't ever use it, but I know if I do ever camp in really, really cold weather, I've got it and it does work. And it seems to be reliable. So that's good. So let's show some of the other things here. So, moving on. I do have access to the fuse panel. I'm going to be grinding these down because inevitably that's going to end up cutting my arm. I don't really want to do that. Got my shunt all wired up. There is the shunt right there. And there it is. So, did a little bit of testing. I didn't set it up or anything. I just hooked it up and started testing, and it's not exactly accurate because as you see right there, it's showing 3.82 amps going in, and the solar charge controller, let's see if I can lighten this up a little bit. Of course it's going on here, but the solar charge controller had been showing a little over 9 amps going into the battery. Now I currently don't have anything else turned on except for the lights. Okay, the solar panel's putting out 2 amps, a little over 100 watts total. Battery voltage currently showing 12.7 volts and 8.4 amps. Okay, so 8.4 amps, this is showing 3.8 amps. The lights are about 1 amp. So it's about half of what reality is. So I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know if it's just not very accurate or what. Don't really know. But anyway, it's there. I can monitor it. I'll be able to look into it a little bit more later on. So, the switch panel. This is for the lights. This right here is for the radio, but it also turns the fan on up top here. And I've got some other stuff that is also wired up to that switch, like the USB outlets. Now, if I turn this on, the radio will automatically connect via Bluetooth to the phone, and it's too much of a hassle to try to record with that on, so I'm just leaving that off. But anyway, then we've got, we're gonna have, there's 3 left, and if I remember right, one's for the water pump, which it could be any of these, but anyway, one's for the water pump, one's for the rear lights, and I don't remember on the 4th one. or fifth one. I'd have to take a look and see. I don't remember right offhand. But anyway, everything's right here. I will be labeling these below it, so that way it's easier to see and remember which one's which. But I primarily wanted this one to be the lights because it's right next to the door, and I can each reach in the first switch, turn on the lights. And then we've got 2 outlets. Now these are powered up all the time. These are wired directly to the fuse panel, and that's those 12 gauge wires, those 2 white ones right there. See, DC outlet. So anyway, that's what's going on here. Oh, and I got a little bit more of the cedar paneling in here. So it's coming along. It is definitely coming along. I need to go get some more cedar planks, and I want to try to finish this little box here before I get more cedar planks, because that box is going to go right here. So anyway, that is the cargo trailer update for today. Electrical is just about done. It's to the point right now where we could take it out and use it. I want to do some spray foam on the corners, and get a little bit of that done so it's a little bit more insulated in here. I've got some weather stripping to put around the doors, primarily the back door. That's where the biggest air leaks are. And then going to be putting the fan on, exhaust fan and intake air fan. So there's going to be one of each. And the exhaust fan is not going to be mounted on the roof, but it is going to take warm air from up high and get it out of here. So it's going to be a lot different than what I've seen anybody else do as far as fresh air intake and exhaust for a trailer like this. So y'all just have to tune in later and see what we do. So until then, God bless y'all. Y'all have a good day, and we'll see you next time.